Michelle from Nerdy Moms United, and today we're going to talk about how to deal with Elementor when it won't load up, part 2. Stick to the end. I have something special that I want to offer you. So, how to fix Elementor when it's stuck on the loading screen, part 2. In the first part of this video series, we dealt with caching problems. In this one, we're going to deal with 8 other issues that could be causing the problem with Elementor being stuck on the loading screen. For the steps in this video, you can find them at nerdymomsunited.com/post/Elementor stuck on loading screen part 2. Don't worry, I'll leave the link below so that way I'll make it easier for you to follow along these troubleshooting steps if you like the instructions written instead of the video form. So, we're going to try republishing your page you want to edit. Now, I've had this happen to me before where the page, I made some changes and did not update correctly and affected my ability to open up Elementor when loading. So, to do this, all you do is go to the page you want to change, click on the edit button. Once you're on the edit screen, just hit the update button. Once it's done, then you can go ahead and test editing with Elementor with this button right here, but you want to make sure it's completely done before you do that. Next is sometimes you want to enable Elementor switch editing load method. This sometimes can help with the issue of it not loading all the way, and you get that loading error where it's just sitting there. Very frustrating. To get to that setting in your dashboard, all you do is find the Elementor link on the left hand side and click on settings. In the very last tab is the advanced tab. Click on that. The second item is switch editor loading method. Just click on the drop down and click enable and hit the save changes button. Let it do its thing. And when that is done, then you can go ahead and test your Elementor by click on pages and find the page you want to edit and click on edit with Elementor. If your page is not loaded and it's still stuck, then we're going to try the next thing. We're going to try to regenerate your CSS for your Elementor. To do this, we're going to go back to your Elementor tools. And remember, you can find this in your left navigational bar. You click on Elementor, click on Tools. In the first tab, which is the General tab, you're going to click on that. And then its very first option that says Regenerate CSS, which is your cascading style sheet code. Don't worry, you're not having to deal with code. I just know what that acronym means because I've done web development for over 15 years. And that's what it stands for. All you do is click on this button and it will handle the rest for you. Easy peasy, you don't have to worry about a single thing. Once that is done, you want to go back to the page that you want to edit and click on edit with Elementor and see if it loads up. If it still does not load up, then we're going to go to the next step. We're going to go to Elementor stopped working after a new version update. So this is true when you update your Elementor. Doesn't matter if it is the free version or the pro version. If you recently updated your Elementor and it will not load up, the easiest thing to do is to roll back your version. But before you do that, that's why I have this warning here to not skip this step. Make sure you back up your site before you do this. I use a free backup tool that I love, and it's called Update Draft Plugin. It's 100% totally free to use. I just get it from the plugin store, and I use that to do my backups and do my updates to my site. So anytime I have a issue on my site and I need to restore from a backup, I can update for free or roll back that for free with this plugin. Other plugins that say they'll do your backups for you will charge you to do a restore of your site. Updraft is not like that at all. You can control where your backups go. So I recommend the free update draft plugins. I love it. So make sure you back up your site. Whichever plugin you use it. Do a backup right then and there. You do not want to skip this step. Once you do this, once you do your backup, then you go to Elementor in your left nav bar, and you want to go to version control tab. For this example, I'm showing you how to do it for the free version. The top one is rollback version, which is the free version. It will already have the version number of your previous version of your Elementor, because in this example here, you can see that I was using version 2.7.0 alpha 2. That's the version that when I did the screenshot, that was the version that was on there. And the previous version is this version number here, which is 2.6.8. You just not change that setting at all, just leave it the way it is, because that was the previous version. And you click on the reinstall version number that they have and let it do its thing. If you have the Pro version that recently updated, you do the same thing. It will tell you what version number you got if you got the Pro, and this button tells you what the previous version is. Okay, and also they also recommend that you do a backup before you start. Always do a backup before you start this behavior. If you recently updated your Pro version and it's acting up weird, then you would hit this button and do the rollback version. Okay. Once it's done doing its rollback, then you can go to the next step where you test. Go to the page, find the page you want to update, and then you click Edit with Elementor. If it loads up, great. If it does not load up, then we'll go to the next step. The next step pertains to if you recently have been installing new plugins that are conflicting with Elementor. If you recently just installed one, then this is a really fast process, but I do recommend highly that you do a backup before you start. I use the free Updraft plugin, and it's free, 100% free. I love it, and I would recommend it if you don't have a backup restore solution. That would be the one I would suggest for you to make your life so much easier, because I love sharing free tips about things that make your life easier when you're a web developer or using WordPress in general. Since I'm a web developer, I hate having to rebuild sites because of bad backups, and I would not recommend that you deal with that hassle. So I don't fight with that issue, and that's why I use this awesome free plugin. So do a backup of your site, and then we're going to go to plugins. You're going to click on active plugins. So you're going to click on this activate link. You're going to find the plugin you recently installed, and you're going to click deactivate. We're not going to uninstall it. We're going to just deactivate it. Once you deactivate it and it's done, you're going to go back and test here by clicking on pages, the page you want to edit, and click on edit with Elementor. Now, if you installed multiple new plugins and Elementor does not load up, then you're going to go back to the previous slide and try again and find the next plugin you installed and deactivate it. And then go back and test again to see which plugin is causing the issue. Once you find the new plugin that's causing the issue, you want to leave it deactivated, and then you can reactivate the other ones and one at a time and see which one is causing the issue. I know it sounds a little redundant, but that's the best way to find out which ones are causing the problem. And once you find the one that's causing the problem, you're going to want to contact the plugin owner. A lot of times with plugins, they'll usually on this side by the version number, it tells you who's the maker and how to contact them, or takes you to their website. That's how you can contact them and let them know that their plugin is conflicting with Elementor. So that way they know. And until they fix it, you want to leave that plugin deactivated or find a different one that will work with your site. Next one. An updated plugin is causing a conflict with Elementor. This can happen too. It could be that they didn't realize that a piece of code they used for their update has caused a conflict with Elementor. If you only updated one plugin, then this will be a fast check. If you updated multiple plugins, then you're going to have to try this technique with each one of those plugins until you find the one that's causing the conflict with your Elementor. Remember again, please, please, please back up your site before you do this. So that way you don't run into issues, okay? I don't want you to have problems with your site. So make sure you back up. You can use whatever backup tool you want. I do suggest the free one that I use because, hey, it's free and why not? I should share what I know with you to make your life easier. Because I really, truly believe that. So, once you do your backup, click on plugins, click on active, find the plugin you recently updated and deactivate it. Once you deactivate that one plugin, you only do one at a time. Then we go and test again and see if we can get it to load up. If it doesn't, then you go back and you deactivate the next one that you updated. Usually I try to only update a few at a time, and so I know which ones I've done to make sure I have not caused issue with my Elementor. Once you find the one that has caused the issue with your Elementor, then you can contact that plugin creator and let them know that their update has caused issue with Elementor, that it won't let it load up. If you did not find any of your updated or new plugins that are causing the issue, you can go ahead and reactivate them all and you're good to go. Next thing, your current theme is conflicting with Elementor. This could be if you installed a theme that was never approved to work with Elementor. If a theme is meant to work with Elementor, they would add that to their notations, like when you check out a theme and you click on the theme details, in their little bio, they'll tell you if it works with Elementor or not. If it never mentioned it, then maybe the plugin or maybe the theme never did work with Elementor, or sometimes they have spotty issues where sometimes it doesn't work after an update. You can see that the main theme I use, which is Astra, is well known for working with Elementor extremely well, and you can see that I have a pending update for that, which I haven't done yet in this video, or in this screenshot I didn't. But to see what theme you're using and to test if your theme's having a problem, you first do a backup. Definitely do a backup before you change your theme, because changing your themes can cause issues. Protect yourself, and please, please, please do a backup of your site before you do this. So after you do your backup, we're going to go down to Appearance and then go to Themes. Once we click on Themes, it'll bring us to this window. When you want to test your site on a different theme, I suggest one of the generic WordPress themes, because it's a very simple, clean theme, and they tend to, they always will work with Elementor. In this video, I'm using the 2020 WordPress theme for this testing period. So I grabbed that one from the theme store. If you don't have it, just click on Add New Themes and find the generic WordPress theme to do your testing, because it makes it easier to determine if a theme is causing the problem. I made sure to add the 2020 to my site, which is right here. It's not activated yet, so I put it on here and I click on Activate. It will deactivate this other one, and it will make this one the new theme, and then go test your Elementor by clicking on Pages and clicking on Edit with Elementor. If it loads up, that tells you that your main theme is causing the issue. That's when you need to contact the theme owner and let them know that there's a problem where it's not working with Elementor, and you can work with them on that. If Elementor still does not load up when you use one of the generic WordPress themes, like 2020, their generic ones are always named after the year. If it still does not work, then you can turn your main theme back on, check your site, make sure everything is good. If things are a little wonky or weird, then you can use a backup to put it back the way it was before you ran this test. So if Elementor still didn't work after checking your theme, next thing is to check is to see if you have Rocket Loader turned on in your Cloudflare. Now, what is Cloudflare if you're not familiar with it? Cloudflare is a CDN, a content delivery network. It is used to help you make your site faster. Now, if you do not use Cloudflare or any other CDN, then you can skip this step. If you do use Cloudflare, then I'm going to walk you through how to turn off Rocket Loader because it causes so many issues with your Elementor and you really don't want that frustration. So, in Cloudflare, you'll log into your account, you'll go to your dashboard for your site because if you have multiple sites, then you have multiple dashboards. Click on the one for the site that you're having an issue with, and on the top portion, you're going to look for the button called Speed. In the speed dashboard that loads below, you're going to scroll down until you find Rocket Loader. For Rocket Loader, you want to see if it's on. If it's turned on in green, you want to take the slider button and move it to the left. That way it'll turn it off and save your changes. And from there, you're going to want to go back to your WordPress dashboard, click on Pages, and then click on Edit with Elementor and see if your Elementor loads up. If it does load up, then you're good to go. If it doesn't, don't worry. I'm here to help you. I have more troubleshooting steps, and we're going to move on to the next part. So next part in 3, I'm going to work with you on the more technical pieces that require some of the more advanced knowledge, but don't worry, I can still walk you through that process, and I will. If you are struggling with your Elementor and having multiple issues, here's how I can help you. I have detailed written instructions, easy to follow. If you can follow a cake mix on the back of a box, then you can follow my instructions in this easy to follow Elementor troubleshooting guide step by step. I write down every single little step you need to take to fix your Elementor, including this one, and it has all 4 sections on fixing Elementor when it's stuck on a loading screen. I also have 6 other main issues that Elementor has. These are the most common problems people run into when dealing with Elementor. I have painstakingly troubleshot every one of these issues and every one of the steps I've taken to do this. Yes, and there's sometimes more than one way to fix it because sometimes one way didn't fix it because sometimes it's different reasons why it's causing that specific issue. I wanted to make sure you had my first-hand knowledge of how to fix these things quickly and easily so you don't have to hire a web developer to help you. Even though I am one and I wrote it down just to make your life painfully simple because I don't want this to be hard. I want this to be super easy for you. Thank you for watching my video. If you like my videos, like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions below. I will answer your questions and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.